today, in contrast to the past centuries, women are seen literate, educated, and leading the life to the fullest. Well, they are seen leading not only in the political environment but also in social life. And all this change is only due to two words, that is, women empowerment. But have we actually understood the literal meaning of these two words? Well, we are given the right to education, but according to Article 19(1)(g), which states everybody has a right to choose their own profession, but this literally seems a myth for many today. Ironically, 3 out of 5 girls are seen dropping out of colleges and schools just because of society and parental pressure. Well, I don't think the right to education and right to choose their own professional is still empowered to all the women. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tanisha Avasti and I welcome you to Let's Talk on the occasion of International Women's Day, where we have with us eminent personalities who against all odds have flourished in their respective fields and made it great with grace. Well, women empowerment is surely earmarked in the history of mankind. The key to it is literacy and education. With that, not to forget that 21st century, there lies a certain section of the society which hasn't overcome the patriarchal legacy. To join me more on this, we have with us Dr. Neela Bhattacharya, a plastic surgeon at Anandlok Multi-Speciality Hospital, Mrs. Shweta Tiwari, principal of Birla Divyajyoti School, Dr. Smriti, gynecologist at Neotia Getwell Hospital, Ms. Priyanshi Jalan, an entrepreneur, and Ms. Manu Krishna, a journalist. Thank you all for being with us today. Well, starting with the very basic question that I have for all of you is, what actually is women empowerment, and do you think this word actually has been misused by many? Starting with Dr. Neela.
Thank you so much for having me here on this panel discussion today. It is very sad that we are having to have words like women empowerment and International Women's Day, etc. today. Because when you go back in history, actually women were equal to men at a point. I think there is no doubt in our minds whether Ram was better or Sita was more powerful. They were the same. But then slowly as history progressed, man took on a patriarchal status. Man was the provider and therefore he could oppress. And slowly a woman went off into the house and then relegated to the kitchen.
Right.
Okay. So then this need came. Women realized that we have to do something and started all these empowering ourselves, having equal opportunities, equal rights. Women empowerment essentially means that a woman should be free to do what she wants in life.
Nice.
And yes, in the present context, again, we have to strive because everybody thinks that if a woman wants to be what she wants, something is wrong. The men feel that no, we are doing something out of the ordinary. Woman empowerment essentially is, if you want to be a housewife royally. If you want to go out and study, please go out and study. If you want to not have children, don't have children. So when that concept gets accepted by the society at large, I think then we will slowly not need terms like this. A woman would be as normal and as equal as the other people around her.
Right. So, Mrs. Shweta Tiwari, what according to you, do you think the word has been misused by many, in today's world? Like, we see taking advantage of the word. Girls take advantage, boys take advantage as well. So, what is your say on that?
Yeah, I would agree with you that the girls are taking advantage of that. And I agree with ma'am of everything that she has spoken just now. It is certainly not a male versus female fight. And it is more of gender sensitization. It's more of accepting each other as equal. And that's all about women empowerment. Like India has always been a male dominating society. So now comes a time where men have to understand that men and women complete each other. They are incomplete without each other. So if a woman is not educated, how does she look after her home in a very progressive manner? If a woman is not educated, how would she know if a child is unwell or down with fever, she needs to decide a lot of things at home, that I should go to a doctor, I need this one's help, that one's help, or I need what certain decision that I need to take. For that, a lot of educational knowledge is required other than the typical household work. But in India, our system was such that women were empowered through their process of work. We had our, like we say, Dadi Ma's kitchen. We had our nuske, Dadi Ma's nuske. We had our, and we knew about those things. There is a whole lot of jumbled idea and confusion in our mind that which one is modern, which one is not modern. So we have come to a point where it has as though in our society it's a battle between a male and a female. It's certainly not that. It's certainly not that. Today when we are celebrating Women's Day, we mean that we need to empower women at every level and everyone in order to make our family better. As a student of political science also, I would like to tell you that the concept of nation, the concept of this motherland also comes from the smallest level is family. It starts from there. From family comes your nation. It's all a chain reaction of that. So if a woman is educated, if she knows how to keep her family together and healthy and with intact values, she must be treated equally and she must be given that respect in the society. That's it. That's what is women empowerment.
Right. So empowering women as a whole and starting from the family itself. You know.
Yes.
So Dr. Smita, what is your say on what, according to you, is women empowerment, and how can it be misused, and is it actually being misused by people?
Yes, I do think that it is being misused. First and foremost, someone rightly said that a nation is what its mothers are.
Yeah.
So if India is to grow and dominate as a strong nation, we, the women of India, have to be empowered. But empowerment is nothing to do against the men. Empowerment does not mean that you have to have reservations, you have to have certain privileges over the men. We always think that if we have to empower Indian women, we have to have some reserved seats in parliament, we have to have some privileges in schools and colleges specifically for girls. No, I do not think that empowerment means this. Empowerment means a woman should have the liberty to choose her life, do what she wants in her life. It also means that women should harness their inner strength, know what their potential is, and do things to uplift themselves and thereby uplift other women around them. An empowered woman empowers another woman. She does not oppress another woman. She does not look down upon another woman based on her skin color, on her wealth, on her education. No. If you are an empowered woman, you will use your potential to the fullest and you will help another woman attain the same. That in true sense is empowerment, not just having rights and privileges. And more importantly, it is no revolution against the men. A man is a part of our system. We cannot do without them, just as they cannot do without us.
Right.
So it's just about having a conjugal and a happy existence.
Right. So basically, woman empowerment for you is not against the men, but
Definitely.
growing as a woman individually and empowering herself.
Exactly.
Right. So Priyanshu, what is your stay on that?
Women empowerment began with a fight stating that it's not male who are more powerful than women, but right now what we are fighting for is women are more powerful than men. So that's not the fight what we are fighting for. It's basically women is equal to a man, because women and men have different roles in the society, and we need to understand that we are here to complete our role, and but also we should have the right to at least do whatever we want to, and no one should judge us. To me, women empowerment should begin at a very basic level, where a girl child is taught some certain values at home, and a girl child is given equal education and equal chances to prove herself. So if everything is done on a very basic and primary level, I don't think there will be any requirement of reserved seats towards the end level, because if a woman is automatically educated, and if the society is with this building up with this concept that women and girls and boys are getting equal education, I'm sure no one will see that we need extra seats or reserved seats for women in the parliament. As Dr. Smita rightly said, we can just say that Let's give equal chance to all, and finally who deserves should get it. And women should also keep this in mind, that we should have the courage. Since history, it's said that only women who had the courage did something, in fact made the history. So we shouldn't forget that. And even even at the 21st century, we need to believe that women still have a lot to prove, not to the others, and not to prove themselves superior of men again, because that's again against women empowerment. We just need to prove ourselves that yes, we can do whatever we want to do, and that just requires a little courage, and of course a little push towards the primary level, but not at the secondary level. Because if at a primary level everything is treated equally, in secondary level we don't even need such rights or such heavy slogans that we need to do this for women. In general, it should be we need to do this for human rights, because male and female both are humans, and if we do it for the right, automatically we are supporting what right is.
Actually, I completely agree with you on that, Smirabel. A debatable topic. This is a very debatable topic on, who is more powerful, a man or a woman. But you see nowadays, individual difference of a woman is usually taken as women trying to be men.
Yeah.
You cannot compare an apple and an orange, right?
That's
So, well, with that, quickly coming to Manu Krishna, what is your stay on that?
थैंक यू सो मच मिस अवस्थी फॉर कॉलिंग मी हियर. हम बात कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट
Right.
मीन्स नारी सशक्तिकरण. नारी को सशक्त होने की कभी ज़रूरत ही नहीं थी. अगर हम बात करें, और प्रिंसिपल साहिबा भी हमारे साथ हैं और सभी यहाँ पे डिग्निटरीज हैं, सभी अपने अपने फील्ड में बहुत आगे हैं. तो नारी को सशक्तिकरण की कभी ज़रूरत नहीं थी. अगर हम अपने हिस्ट्री को देखते हैं, पौराणिक कथाओं को अगर आप देखिए, तो वहाँ पे स्वयंवर होता था, राइट, जहाँ पे महिलाओं को अधिकार था पुरुष को अपने लिए पुरुष को चुनने का. वो अधिकार कभी पुरुषों को नहीं मिला. अब क्योंकि हमारे भारत में तुगलक ने आक्रमण किया, हून ने आक्रमण किया, तो बहुत सारे लोगों ने जब आक्रमण किया तो सभ्यता संस्कृति बदलती गई. और जैसे जैसे सभ्यता बदली, जैसे जैसे संस्कृति बदली, महिलाओं को पर्दा में, हमारे इतिहास में कभी महिला पर्दा प्रथा में नहीं थी. लेकिन जैसे जैसे आक्रमण हुए, अपने आप को सेफ रखने के लिए महिलाओं को पर्दा प्रथा को चुनना पड़ा. राजा राम मोहन राय ने भी इसका विरोध किया था. अब बात रही महिला सशक्तिकरण की, जैसे हम बात कर रहे हैं पुरुष के मुकाबले, तो हमें पुरुष से मुकाबला क्यों करना है? कभी पुरुष ने बोला कि हमें महिलाओं से मुकाबला करना है? यानी कि कहीं ना कहीं हम अंदर खुद ही इन्फीरियर फील करते हैं. किसी पुरुष ने नहीं कहा मुझे इस महिला की तरह बनना है, पर हम जरूर कहते हैं. आज हम अपनी बेटियों को बेटा करके बुलाते हैं. क्यों बुलाते हैं? क्यों बुलाते हैं? यहीं से तो हम भेद शुरू करते हैं. डिफ्रेंशिएट करना तो हम घर से शुरू करते हैं. और पार्लियामेंट में अपने रिजर्वेशन की बात अगर हम करें, तो देयर आर फ्यू पॉलिटिकल लीडर्स जिसने इसको हवा दी है. क्या आपको चाहिए? नहीं चाहिए. क्या आपको रिजर्वेशन चाहिए? मुझे रिजर्वेशन चाहिए. मैं अपने फील्ड में हूँ, मैं रिजर्वेशन से नहीं आई. आई डोंट थिंक कि प्रिंसिपल साहिबा, डॉक्टर साहिबा अपने हम यहाँ पे काबिलियत से आए. हमने कोई रिजर्वेशन की मांग नहीं की है. लेकिन पॉलिटिकल लीडर्स का हमेशा से यही रहा है कि पॉलिटिकल के आड़ में ही अपनी रोटी सेकते हैं. थोड़ी सी हवा दे दो और अपने आप ही चीज़ें बढ़ जाएंगी. उसके बाद वो शांत हो जाते हैं. मुझे नहीं लगा कि मुझे पुरुषों से कभी कोई कंपटीशन है, और मैं कभी कर नहीं सकती. प्रकृति ने दो चीज़ें बनाई हैं. पुरुष की अपनी मान्यता है और महिलाओं की अपनी मान्यता है. उनकी अपनी जिम्मेदारी है, हमारी अपनी जिम्मेदारी है. अगर हम किचन में कुछ अपने बच्चे के लिए करते हैं, तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि इसमें अपने आप को इन्फीरियर फील करना चाहिए. वी आर डूइंग इट हैप्पीली. जब हमारा बच्चा स्कूल से आता है, वी गो एंड हग बॉय और गर्ल वॉट एवर, जो हमारे बच्चे हैं. तो इसमें हमारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं है, ये हमारा प्यार है. ठीक है. सेकेंड थिंग जो मुझे बहुत स्ट्रांगली फील होता है कि मैं पुरुष के मुकाबले अपने आप को कभी कम्पीट नहीं करना चाहूँगी. नहीं करना चाहूँगी. इसलिए नहीं करना चाहूँगी क्योंकि जब बेटी का जन्म होता है, माँ की वैसी स्थिति नहीं होती. हमारे साथ तो गायनोकोलॉजिस्ट है, उनसे बेहतर पहुँच जाता है. उस टाइम में बच्चा, चाहे वो बेटी हो या बेटा हो, सबसे पहले किसके गोद में जाता है? बाप के गोद में. राइट. तो हम पहली आंखें जो खोलते हैं वो अपने फादर के गोद में खोलते हैं. फिर हम जब थोड़े बड़े होते हैं तो हमारा भाई होता है, नहीं भी होता है. फिर हमारी शादी होती है तो हमारी ज़िंदगी में हमारा हस्बैंड आता है. आज मैं यहाँ पे हूँ, माई हस्बैंड इज टेकिंग केयर ऑफ माई डॉटर, तो मैं कैसे बोलूँ कि मुझे नारी सशक्तिकरण की जरूरत है? आई एम कम्प्लीटली डिपेंडेंट ऑन हिम. मेरा छोटा बेबी है तो ही इज टेकिंग केयर ऑफ हिम. सेकेंड थिंग, हमारे लाइफ में हमारे फादर आते हैं, हमारा ब्रदर आता है, हमारा हस्बैंड आता है, जो हमें एक सेफ्टी देता है, एक सिक्योरिटी देता है. हमें हस्बैंड ने कभी नहीं कहा कि तुम्हें आगे नहीं बढ़ना है. इट इज़ ओनली कि हम अपने सराउंडिंग वो मिथ बना के रखे हैं. तो हो सकता है मेरी बातों से बहुत सारे लोग डिसएग्री करें या सहमत नहीं हो, लेकिन ये मेरा ओपिनियन है कि नारी शुरू से ही सशक्त रही है, उसे किसी भी सशक्तिकरण की जरूरत नहीं है. हम एक बच्चे को, एक नए जीवन को जब हम जन्म दे सकते हैं तो हम कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. हम कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. तो ये पार्लियामेंट में क्या होना है, पॉलिटिकल क्या चीज़ है, इन सब चीज़ों की हमें ज़रूरत नहीं है. जो आगे बढ़ना चाहते हैं, जिनके अंदर हुनर होता है, जिनके अंदर पैशन होता है और कुछ पाने की जिनके अंदर भूख होती है, वो अपने आप ही उस जगह पहुंच जाते हैं. सो आई डोंट थिंक कि मेरे लिए ये नारी सशक्तिकरण मायने रखता है. आई डोंट थिंक सो.
That's okay. So Shweta, you are a principal of Birla Devi Jyoti School, and education is the utmost important thing for you, right? But in the 21st century, it is still one of the biggest challenge for girls to fight for their education. What is your stay on that?
It's absolutely true. I cannot deny it, and a lot has to be done in this area, and it can be done. There is a huge poverty also in India,
Right.
which plays a very strong role. Why women and the girls are not getting that education? If I have little money, then I would rather save that money for her wedding, and I would educate my son, who would take care of me when I grow older. That's the mindset, basic mindset. And yesterday also I was watching the news when I'm talking about poverty. There are these hutments which have been bulldozed in Delhi suburbs, and the children, and unfortunately most of them were girls. There are boys also who were supposed to write exam yesterday, and they could not because of. So somewhere the poverty plays a very very strong role in this entire thing. And if we analyze a little bit, we'll get to see that when we get qualified, when we are in our status also, we go a little higher. The minute that happens, our mindset also changes. We interact with educated people, and the idea of sending a girl child also to the school automatically happens. So I personally, as an educator, I feel education plays a very very strong role. And in many other countries where education is a must, you belong to whichever status, the government takes care of them. In fact, I believe when I was younger it was different, but now with the age I have understood one thing, that this whole reservation concept is a terrible concept. Why can't the government take the responsibility, whether I'm elected or you are elected, whoever is elected, it passes on to the other person, just like the bureaucracy happens, and we look after the children and education and their education in the similar manner. Automatically everybody will get educated, and every community will get educated. So that's the most important thing, and the minute education happens, the wisdom will automatically come.
Right, so I completely agree with you on that statement. Quickly coming to Dr. Neela, when we talk about history, a woman's role was merely confined to the kitchen, but now we are saying, woman is open to all fields. She is in the corporate world, she's a journalist, she's in the defense army. But do you think a woman loses her femininity when she steps out of a house in order to take up equal financial responsibilities?
Femininity.
Yes, femininity.
Okay. I am a lady plastic surgeon.
Right.
So, do you know how rare that is?
Right.
There are about 20,000 surgeons in India, and plastic surgery field has about 2,000 plastic surgeons in India. And if you take the women, there are just 15 to 20. So, in the doctor population in India, a female plastic surgeon is 1 in a lakh.
Right.
Okay. So, just imagine when I started out wanting to be a surgeon, what is the odds that I had to face? When I went to Cuttack, Orissa to do general surgery, doing general surgery was my passion.
Right.
Doing surgery, and I always keep thinking people are paying me for doing surgery.
Right.
No, because I love it. I just want to keep only doing that. Right. But when I went to Orissa, ACP Medical College, I got through the All India, and when I went there to do surgery, that college hadn't had a female female surgeon, postgraduate, until that point. So they first said, you're a freak.
Right.
How can you even be feminine?
Right.
Okay,
Even
so
that's the first thought that we get when
So-
we, yeah.
you have to deal at that level.
Right.
You'll have to tell them that being feminine is something which has been construed by society.
Right.
They say that you are gentle, you're sensitive, you're empathetic. So then you're not feminine if you come out of that
Right.
field. No. I personally feel that you'll have to be a pumpkin. Okay?
Right.
What do you mean pumpkin? Huh? It stands out in its field, isn't it?
Right.
You can see in the midst of the green fields a yellow pumpkin. So, what else does the pumpkin have? It enjoys the sun. It grows to whatever extent it wants. It develops a thick skin. If being a pumpkin means that you should not be a feminine, you cannot be feminine and stand out in your field, then so be it. But I feel that as a woman who wants to do what she wants, we should be able to rise above all what norms that the society has constructed
Right.
us into.
Right. So thank you so much for the beautiful statement that you had. I really love the ideology, you know. Pumpkin, yes, obviously you need to stand out of the crowd, because there's no harm standing out of the crowd even if people see you in a different way, right? I completely agree with you on statement. Well, we also have an entrepreneur, a fashion designer with us. Priyanshi, coming to you. Well, you are a fashion designer and now an entrepreneur. Was it a cakewalk to follow your passion and your dreams, or did the societal hurdles made the way challenging for you? Because when we talk about fashion, usually a fashionable girl is seen as a spoiled brat in the society, right? So what was the experience like for you?
The experience was definitely not a cakewalk, but thanks to my family, it was definitely easy when compared to most of the girls. So today, when we see there are so many stereotypes in the job or in different kinds of field of education, that okay, this education is meant for boys and this education is meant for girls. When we talk about such things like being a chef, everyone say a mother's food is the best, but when we talk about the best chef in India, we always have Mr. Sanjeev Kapoor's name in mind. Also fashion designers, when we talk about, it's always like fashion is related to girls, but again when we talk about best fashion designers, the main name that comes in our mind is Manish Malhotra and Sabyasachi. So why is there so much of stereotypes yet the results are different? It's mainly about you are stereotyping women to be good in something but not best in something. You can do fashion, but just do fashion and not go through it. I had done BBA, and in my class the ratio in business administration was 1:5. Five portion of boys and just 20% girls. So that's a stereotype girls are coming with. I want to be a businesswoman. As long as they don't call me a women entrepreneur, because I would just want to be an entrepreneur.
Right.
And the word women need not be added in front of me. As a fashion blogger, I say that I just do what I want to be passionate about, and thanks to the people I am surrounded with, and I will say I am lucky, but let's not ignore the fact that not everyone is lucky, and we still have a lot to change, and everything can just change with mentality at a very basic level. If today I decide that when I have a family, or even with the younger sisters and brothers at home, if I tell them that you are a basic human, you have your own human rights, not being a girl or a boy, your rights will differ. I think with this mentality, if every girl or a boy grows up, there'll be no such things as women empowerment or women facing troubles in work or women facing troubles in following their passion. It will, let's just say, humans facing troubles and humans finally overcoming troubles.
Right. So, well, we have people from different fields and different ideologies on, you know, what their struggles have been and how they feel on women empowerment. We also have a gynecologist with us, Dr. Smita Ghosh. Well, Dr. Smita, you are a gynecologist, and I'm sure you must have come across cases wherein, you know, mothers come to you for MTP, medical termination of pregnancy. So, what is your stay on that when, you know, when they want to abort if it's a girl child? I mean, it's like the female feticide is still prevailing in the 21st century. So what is your stay?
It's really unfortunate, but what the first thing that comes to our head is such a thing happens only in rural India.
Right.
But the matter of the fact is that it is so prevalent even in urban area. I work in a very posh corporate hospital in Shiliguri, Neotia Hospital, and it is so sad to see that so many modern, educated, working women come to me for an MTP because they have learnt that it is a girl child. I've also had a woman who came to me knowing that she has had twin pregnancy, and the only fear she had is, what if both are girls? So that's so tragic. And the matter of the fact is also that there are doctors, still doctors, who kind of do sex determination, which is so shameful, because the first step towards female feticide is someone telling you that it is a girl. Of course, the more primitive step is that you thinking that a girl child is not worth keeping. So it is really sad. As for me, I am thankful to Government of India that there are some rules which we have to follow while terminating a pregnancy. There are norms we have to, there are particular records that we maintain whenever we do a termination. Of course, that is only if you follow the rules, and you have to specify why this pregnancy is being terminated.
Right.
Also, as a doctor practicing in a private sector, I have a right to refuse MTP to a patient. Doctors in government sector cannot refuse, and it is said that every woman has a right to a medical abortion. But I personally, I hate it. I try to convince my patients that the heart is already beating, so it's a human being. Ab soch lo, do you want to kill a child? This is your own child, your own flesh and blood. But the tragic part is most of it is women who come, and they're even willing to sacrifice their lives, because there are things like, initially we say, suppose they've had 2 cesareans, and we say that the 3rd pregnancy is very risky. They suppose accidentally get pregnant and they learn that it is a boy. They're willing to sacrifice their life knowing that the life will be endangered just to keep that boy child. Okay, and reverse is the same. Knowing that it is a girl child, they're willing to forego it. So I personally, most of my patients, they know that once the heart is beating and it's leaving, I refuse to do MTPs. There are very few patients for whom I have done MTPs, but that is because of medical ground, because the pregnancy as such was life-threatening for her, for a particular medical condition. Other than that, I personally do not do any kind of abortions.
Right. Well, we also have a journalist with us today, Manu Krishna. When we talk about journalism as a field, well, it requires day in and day out efforts and hard work. You need to give up on your sleep, on your time, your daily routine. There can be midnight shifts, otherwise, you might get a call early in the morning at 6 a.m. So, how challenging was it for you, being a woman, to face it and to come to keep in mind your safety and still work as a journalist?
To be very honest, it is not at all risky for me.
Right.
And I'm enjoying my job thoroughly just because of my husband.
Right.
Again, we all are talking about women empowerment and all, लेकिन मेरी सारी लाइफ मेरे हस्बैंड के पास ही घूमती है. मैं कहीं भी जा सकती हूँ, सुबह में भी जाती हूँ, अर्ली मॉर्निंग भी हमें निकलना होता है, लेट नाइट भी निकलना होता है. एक सिर्फ कॉल की देरी होती है, एंड सिंस लोक सभा चुनाव इज नॉकिंग द डोर, आवर जॉब इज गोइंग टू बी वेरी टफ. तो कितने सारे रातें बगैर हमें मतलब जगराता करना होगा, कब सुबह उठना होगा, कब लंच होगा, कब डिनर होगा, कब ब्रेकफास्ट मिलेगा, वी सीरियसली डोंट नो. लेकिन सिंस मुझे पता है कि माई हस्बैंड इज देयर हु रियली कैन टेक केयर ऑफ माई डॉटर, तो आई एम एंजॉइंग माई जॉब, एंड सीरियसली आई एम एंजॉइंग माई जॉब. सो मेरे लिए मेरा जॉब चैलेंजिंग नहीं है. इट इज़ जस्ट अ पैशन फॉर मी, एंड पैशन कभी चैलेंजिंग नहीं होता है, वो हैपनिंग होता है.
Right, exactly. Passion, you can do anything when you have passion, right? You don't worry about whether it's about your safety or it's about you being tired. You don't feel tired when you're following your passion, right? But yes, I completely agree. But summing up everything, 21st century has literally changed the conditions of women when compared to the past. But when we talk in terms of safety and treating her on the same level as men, I think there must be a radical change. We still need to look on how women are viewed in the society.
और इसके लिए भी वुमेन को ही सामने आना पड़ेगा.
Right.
हम मेन से एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर सकते, बिकॉज दे आर ऑल्सो लोडेड विद सम अदर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, राइट. तो ये छोटी छोटी चीज़ें बिकॉज वो वुमेन ही कर सकती है.
Right.
कुछ चीज़ें हैं जो वुमेन ही कर सकती हैं, तो इनिशियल स्टार्ट वुमन को ही करना चाहिए.
Exactly. Women empowerment comes when we ourselves decide to be empowered, not being empowered by others.
Exactly. Truly.
Yes.
Like
So
Shabrimala is a very big example, right?
yes,
Yes. Yes.
Well,
No, ma'am, but there are 6 temples where man are
Yes.
not supposed to go.
yes.
वो man ने कभी इस बात को बखेड़ा
नहीं
नहीं
किया.
बनाया कि मुझे जाने दो मंदिर में, मुझे
हाँ.
जाना है. लेकिन ये अगेन दिस इज क्रिएटेड बाय वुमन ओनली. और वो ब्रेक करने का, रूल ब्रेक करने का भी रिस्क वुमन नहीं लिया. तो इन सब चीजों से हमें ऊपर उठना चाहिए. वी आर एक्चुअली एम्पावर्ड यार. हम लोग को खुद को समझने की जरूरत है.
women empowerment is definitely a reality today, but the question is it enough? On that note, I end today's program, and I would like to thank Dr. Neela, Shweta, Dr. Smita, Priyanshi, and Manu for being with us today. Thank you so much for being with us, and a very happy Women's Day to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.